says jump in the air twice. Simon says jump in the air 3 times. Simon says stop. Simon says hands down at your sides. Simon says put your thumbs in your ears. Simon says open your mouths.
Just blew my pipe. Well, welcome to the party. Come on in. We're having a little fun here playing Simon Says, and you're welcome to join us.
Simon says everybody tell Hef to please pay attention. Louder. Come on. You're out over here. You didn't say Simon said. Okay. Simon says everybody stand straight. Simon says everybody bend your knees. Simon says everybody stand up. Simon says Chris, come on here, front and center. Quick like a bunny, Chris. Stand right here. Simon says everyone gather somewhere behind Chris and get as close to her as you can. Simon says do it immediately.
Yeah, get close.
Okay, everybody put a hand somewhere on Chris. Hold it. You're out. You're out. You reached, you're out. Okay, Simon says everybody else, close in and get a hand on her. Simon says a hand on Chris. Everywhere, somewhere a hand. Come on, I want to see more hands. Simon says, everybody rub. Everybody rub. Simon says stop. Simon says, everyone disappear from my view so that I can't see you. Quick! Simon says, show me one leg, just one leg. If I see more, you're out. Simon says, wiggle your toes sexily. Okay, nobody's out on that. Simon says, everybody get a partner, couple off and come. Simon says, hurry up. Simon says, if you're late, you're out. Simon says, boys face the girls. Simon says, boys, put your hands on her hips. Girls, put your arm around his neck. You're out. Simon says. You're out in the back. Simon says, girls, arms around the boys. Simon says, bring your noses 2 inches apart. Simon says, bring your noses 1 inch apart. Simon says, closer. Simon says, closer. Simon says, be creative. Simon says, stop, Hef. Hef, Simon, and Barbara, please say stop, or you'll be... Simon says stop.
I'm out of the game. Does anybody know what this is?
If I tell you when to stop playing.
All right, it's a guitar.
And it's used quite often in country music.
Glad to hear that.
Now, would you like to hear some country music?
No.
You don't understand. You don't understand. I'm not going to play. I'm not going to play. It happens that tonight we have a good friend, Linda Ronstadt, who's one of the really great talents in country music. Linda, be my guest.
When I'm walking down the line, when I'm walking down the line, when I'm walking down the line, Peter be fine, tell you about my troubled mind. Where my money comes and goes, my money comes and goes, my money comes and goes, goes and goes, through the holes in my heart and my clothes, and I'm walking down the line. Well, I'm walking down the line. on my traveling shoes. Got on my traveling shoes. I got my traveling shoes and I ain't gonna lose. I believe I got the walking blues. I am walking down the line. Well, I'm walking down the line. I'm walking down the line. My feet will be a flying. Tell about my trouble mind. Well, I'm walking down the line. Well, I'm walking down the line. My feet will be a flying. Tell about my trouble mind.
Linda, you play country music with a difference. That's wild. How did you get interested in country music originally?
Well, I'm a country girl originally. I
I
grew
would
up
not
in
have guessed
Tucson,
that.
Arizona.
I see. I wonder if you would introduce the rest of the guys that are backing you up.
I sure will. This is Chris Darrow, who played the fiddle, and he also plays guitar. This is John Ware. This is John Ware on the drums, and this is John London on the bass, and Bernie Ledden on the lead guitar.
Rock and roll. You gonna do another number? Will you?
Yep.
Okay.
Wake up every morning and look to find you there, but only empty walls look back, and empty walls don't care. I have breakfast just for one, it used to be for two, and that's the way the day begins when you're living like a fool. Each day I meet the same old friends and tell the same old lies. I don't miss him, pardon me, there's something in my eyes. And as the days and lives go on, I take a drink or two, and that's the way the day goes by when you're living like a fool.
song.
I appreciate that, Jerry. Good. However, I have some thoughts of my own on that subject, American women. If you got a blackboard here, I could show you.
Well, you know this is an apartment with everything that you need. We have a blackboard right
You're
here
kidding.
behind the painting.
You have a blackboard? I don't believe it. Where?
How do I find it? Just push the little button over there.
This here? I thought there was an outlet. Great Scott. Yes, it is complete. This your shopping list?
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'll show you what I mean. You know, sometimes, I don't want this to be a mass meeting, but you're all welcome. This is, I don't want a mass meeting because a man said 1969 is a year in which if a man tried to collect his thoughts, he'd be arrested for unlawful assembly. You remember when I talked about how to classify people politically? Remember that? A lot of you don't remember this, but we used to have two parties in this country and a lot of debate before everyone became happy and back in the bad old days. And I made up a chart so that people wouldn't have to call people left-wingers and right-wingers and alienate them. And it was based on psychometrics, calculus, and semantics. And the calculus was so that you could classify a guy when he came out of school, out of college, when he's a leftist, and you could correct as he drifted to the right until his death. So, all right, so the chart was something like this. If the chalk doesn't squeak, ruin the party. In other words, the people on the left here, that would be the Students for a Democratic Society. Then over here, you'd have the right. That would be parts of the Pentagon Intelligence Agency, the American Medical Association, and various groups. It's like putting twin beds together and sleeping, you know, in the crack. And then, of course, for a finite gradation, we know that the Chinese are left of the Russians. They'd be in the left wing of the left wing. The Cubans would be here. The Russians would be here. In fact, the Russians are almost in the left wing of the middle now. They moved over. A lot of people, you know, don't like the Russians because they feel there's no reason for them to sell out. Nobody even asked them. But what are you going to do? Okay, now we know. All right, so what does this have to do with American women? I can see it in your face.
I was wondering.
I'm coming to that. Now, you can classify people sexually, too, not just politically. I see the interest is arising. So we'll classify a girl. We don't have a lot of time here because a lot more merrymaking to get into tonight. So let's minimize this girl's neuroses and conflicts. We'll get a girl and we'll classify her. We'll put her in an affair and we'll take her out of the affair and we'll classify her. So it's not, I'm not doing it, it's her guilt, see, because of her parents, but we'll get to that. So we'll take a girl who is, let's get a girl with minimum conflicts. Beautiful, middle class, Protestant in America. Pretty good? Father makes about $7,500 a year. So I know what you're thinking already. You're saying, well, she's middle class, Protestant, beautiful. What problems could she have? Probably none, but under our system, she's entitled to some. So, all right. So now this girl is in love with this guy. What do I mean by that? Because I want to be clinical tonight. They get along, and they get along very well, and they dig each other very much. And when he's around, she feels a vertical stability, in other words, emotionally. But when he's gone in a crisis, like he has to go to class or something, she feels something, because they're taking roll that week, she feels something akin to sensory deprivation. In other words, she's in love with him. So because of her parents, she's guilty. She can't take all this success. So she says, she drives home the one day, she figures the best thing is not to see him, because she can't handle happiness. She's allergic to success. She says, it's important. She says, we all do. We've loved her at one time. I can't see you anymore, Tom. And he says, why not? She says, I don't want to talk about it now. He says, okay. She says, aren't you going to hit me? He says, no. She said, well, my father would have. He says, well, I'm not your father. So she feels betrayed. She thought he was like her father, but he wasn't married, which her father was, which has always been the problem with the two of them. So now we're going to classify her, now that she's out of the relationship with Tom. If she decides not to confuse love and marriage, decides to get married, get a contract, but don't be in love and be vulnerable, she's a social democrat. If marriage to a salesman or something, that would make her a right-wing social democrat. But if she's a kind of a nurse and just takes in guys who are weak, guys who are in trouble, latent homosexuality, or guys whose television shows have been canceled, make her a left-wing social democrat. On the other hand, if she's an executive secretary making about $155 a week, says, I can be primitive, you know, guys read magazines and follow their instincts. Why can't a woman? It's equality in America. I'll just see a guy, if I dig him, come on. So that would make her a left-winger, because she's threatening these people who want to get a contract. You follow that? All right. So if you can accept this girl who doesn't ask you for anything, just says, come on, let's go to my place, then you're a left-winger too, sexually. But you have to accept it. You can't go to back to your office and say, gee, I wonder why she never asked for anything. And I wonder why she never goes out with a guy like me and never asks for anything. That means that you're a left winger at her apartment, but back at your office, you're a right wing social. Now, the last category would be a woman who decides that men don't exist. I'll be a librarian. They can't get in trouble like I did with Tom. She'd be over here. So she's working there, but she still looks good, see? And because of this, we've all decided, see, she still looks great. A lot of broken bones inside this great skin, right? So she's working at the library, and a guy sees her in the stacks one day. Says, can I drive you home? So she doesn't want to get involved, of course, but she figures, well, it's Monday, there's nothing on television, you know, maybe I can destroy this guy. Yeah, you can drive me home. So he drives her home, and she jumps out of the car before it stops rolling. It's an antiseptic relationship. And very asexual. Says, thanks a lot, it was great traffic, I really enjoyed it. And the guy says, can I see you tomorrow? She says, I don't know how I'll feel tomorrow. He says, I just came out of a meaningful relationship. And no one can share what I had with Tom, including Tom, if you were here earlier.
Does everybody have a drink? Yes. Then I'd like to propose a toast to a fine gentleman who, like a fine wine, gets better with age. Billy Eckstein.
This time we almost made the pieces fit. Didn't we, girl? This time we almost made some sense of it. Didn't we, girl? This time I had the answer right here in my hand, and I touched it, and didn't we, girl? This time we almost made it to the moon. Oh, didn't we, girl? This time we almost made our poem rhyme, and this time we almost made that hard climb. Didn't we almost make it this time? This time we almost made our poem rhyme, and this time we almost made that
Yes.
thank you. It's too rare that I get a chance to come around with you.
It's always a pleasure. That's a very special tune for both Barbara and myself.
Really? One of your
really
favorites?
glad you did that one. You're a remarkable guy because you really have gone from one generation to another and just seem to get better all the time, doing your own thing and also keeping in step with whatever the new tunes are.
Well, I think all music, if it's good, it should be sung, and I think that a lot of the contemporary music today is very good, especially within the last 6 or so years. There's been some very great songs written. And then I also hear the old cliche, you know, they say, oh, they don't write them like they used to. Got news for you. A lot of those things, I'm glad they don't write them. Just to refresh your memory, if you remember the 3 little fishes in the itty bitty pool.
I remember well.
And then they had that beautiful. Is that the 3 little fishes?
I think that sounds like Joe Cocker and the Grease Band.
I know that's not the 3 little fishes.
You want to dance? What are we
Come on, I'm
gonna
going to
do?
go in and dance. Come on down.
might go insane upon that train. I might go insane upon that train tonight. Upon that train tonight. Upon that train tonight. On that train, Lord. On that train, let's stay there. On that train, I'm not the freedom. I'm around the freedom.
there's somebody here tonight that I'd like you to meet. I think you'll enjoy meeting him. Come with me. He's a star of both films and television, and he's in the library because he brought a professor with him, and the professor is doing a little research. I'll give you a hint as to who he is. He could have brought 50 of the funniest people with him tonight, and all 50 would be the same guy. Come on in. Here they are, all 50 of them. Sid Caesar. Hey, Sid. Sid, what are you doing reading a book here in the middle of spring and party?
Just wanted to
Relax
read up
and
on
enjoy
everything.
yourself.
Relax, yeah.
Sid, I was hoping you might might have brought the professor with you tonight. I haven't seen the professor in a long time, and he's kind of my favorite.
He's not here, but I can get him for you.
Would you?
Sure, just with around. Well, what do you...
Professor. Professor, the reason I was particularly intrigued with the fact that you were coming tonight is because I've been giving a lot of thought to Playboy's success and the Playboy philosophy in the last few months, and kind of re-examining what we've done, and I thought that you might have some interpretation and explanation for what it's all about.
Well, let me see. I could give you an answer, Hef, but you have to figure it out. See, the reason for the success of the Playboy, I would feel, is not only the atmosphere that you have going. It's not just the girls that run around. It's not just the drinks and the atmosphere of the mixture of all. The main thing that's got the Playboy up there is clean silverware. That's why you're on top. Clean silver. You don't have to go in and go like that and take it up.
You know, so cleanliness, you feel, is really the
That's only
essence.
part of it. Clean silverware is the best part.
Right down there.
Well,
with the
man, and
spoons
that's
and
spoons, knives, forks, and napkins.
napkins.
And a few other things that you have.
I was a little confused. before
No,
I
it
started
does not
talking, but
confusing at
now
all.
I'm really...
Whatever it is, because you have to feel the Playboy when you walk in. I was once in London in the Playboy.
What, clean silverware there or no?
I found a butter knife that wasn't
too...
Still had butter on it. But
That
that's fine.
explains
I had
last
a wonderful time there.
You did. But the girls, aren't the girls, you know...
I didn't meet no girls. Were there girls there? I was at the roulette table. I didn't see nobody.
All you see is the silverware.
Just the silverware. Check it. That's it.
Well, I think maybe some of the other kids would like to get a little of
Would
your
you like an answer? I
insight.
would give you an instant analysis.
Yes, sure.
Go right ahead.
I have this terrible problem. Nobody ever asks me out. But when they do, it's always for the same thing. Can you help me?
Clean silverware.
Everybody asks, when they ask you out, they ask you for the same thing. Well, I tell you what you can do. Don't go out with them. Go out with somebody else. Go out with a collie. Or a shepherd. Shepherd, a collie, or a nice Great Dane.
I know a Great Dane. You think
Go out and let yourself. Don't think. Everybody doesn't have that on their mind. Not everyone.
some people have...
A lot of them, but not
Professor?
I have a problem.
Can I be next?
Be my guest.
Okay. Well, you see, my wife is a nuclear physicist. And like she's always laughing at me all the time, making jokes about me, because I don't know the difference between fission and fusion. Well, could you explain it to me?
Yes, that's a very technical question. See, now, fusion. Fusion is the taking of atomic elements. See, everyone has an atomic number and an atomic element. And these elements are and by themselves alone. Now, when they are put into a cyclotron or a cyclone, they are forced together. They are forced together, and these two separate elements are fused into a different element, which takes two elements to make a third element. That is fusion. Now, fission, you get yourself a boat and Yes, dear. What is it?
I really need a car. I really need one. I work all over, and I mean, you can't walk, and buses are ridiculous, and my parents won't buy me one. Do you have any way I can convince them to buy me one?
That's tough. No way.
No way.
I'll give you a ride home if you want. Well, I think I gotta go now. Well.
I'm going to think about what you said, sir.
Okay.
And I appreciate it.
Shut.
Sit, Chief. The mark of every great singer is... That one's got a lot of memories for me.
That's one of the oldies.
How long ago did you record that?
Oh, let me see. I think it was the same night that Lincoln got shot.
No, I was in college. I remember that.
1948.
48.
Yep.
Well, in a nostalgic mood, I dug up, I went into Playboy's editorial files, and I dug up an old copy of Life magazine, dated April 24th, 1950.
Oh, boy.
And this has got inside it a feature story on Mr. B, and we got a picture down here of the night that he broke the all-time record at the Paramount Theater in New York.
I was much older then.
Yes. The years should be as kind to all of us as they are to you, Bill.
Well, I've had a lot of fun, Hep.
Have you met Linda?
Yes, I have, and she's a crazy little singer.
You share, as a matter of fact, the two of you. Linda, I don't think was even in, well, just out of diapers back when you first recorded that tune. But you share, in addition to talent, a special favorite. I think that both of you are very fond of Lady Day.
Billie Holiday?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's a remarkable thing that you would have her as an idol. I mean, because she, very seldom now do the youngsters remember the great things that she did.
One of the greatest.
She's just about my favorite girl singer.
Well, you couldn't go too wrong. Lady Day was my baby. She's a beautiful person. Beautiful person. Oh, well, and when it comes to being a stylist, I guess practically every girl singer at some time or another, even though she doesn't realize it, does something of ladies.
Yes, both the effect, the way that she handled a song, and also
That's right.
she wrote a lot of great ones, too.
Oh, yeah, she wrote some great things. Did you ever hear any of the songs she wrote?
You bet.
Which one was that?
Well, God Bless the Child.
Oh,
You do that?
No, but I'll go.
You do it together?
I love Billie Holiday, and I'll do my best.
Them that's God shall get, them that's not shall lose. For the Bible says, and it's still true,
Mama may have,
she sure may.
Papa may have. God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own.
Well, the strong get more while the weak ones fail. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade.
Mama may have,
Mine didn't.
Papa may have, but God bless the child who's got his own, who's got his own.
Billy would have loved that. John Keats wrote an immortal poem, Ode to a Grecian Urn, in which he said, "Heard memories are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter still. Therefore, ye soft pipes, play on," which is just what we're doing here. Good night.